Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Beyond. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am having a fantastic day. Things are going really well. Hermitcraft Season 5 has started, which I'm super excited about. But today, we're back in our FTB Beyond world, and I want to continue on our quest of automating the production of cake. So, there's a few different ways you can make cake. There are different recipes, and it all is just kind of dependent on what you want to use. So, I think our best bet is probably this recipe right here, because we can use sugar, we can use raw tofu, which is tofu eggs, and then we can use soy milk, regular milk. This one just gives us the most options, and I don't have to try and automate the production of eggs, which, let's be honest, it's easy to do, but it's boring. It's something you could do in vanilla. Make chickens, put them on top of a hopper, call it a day. That's no fun. We want to do other things. So I think the step for today is I want to try and automate the production of those tofu eggs, which are not that hard. Oop, tofu. There we go. These guys right here, it's just firm tofu, yellow dye, and cutting board. So easy enough. And then I also want to automate the production of milk or soy milk. There's a few different ways we can do this. What I want to try first is an item called cow in a jar. This is from Cooking for Blockheads. And basically you make a milk jar and then you put a cow in it. So it's an interesting solution. Let's make a couple of buckets. In fact, let's actually make about like a stack of buckets, because then I have them in the system for me to use for refined storage stuff if I need to. And I want to see, can I milk? Yeah, I can repeatedly milk cows that way, so that's good. Okay, so let's throw a couple of these in, and let's try and make a couple of these milk jars. Let's make like 4 of them, I think. That should be plenty. And then what we need to do is get an anvil. I don't know, I assume it could be a slightly damaged anvil, but let's just make another one. No big deal. And then we'll grab some golden lassos. And I need a couple blocks of any kind. We'll just use cobblestone. This is fine. So what we're going to do is set up like a little thing right here. We'll put our milk in a jar there. I'm going to build this up about there or so. We'll break out these. And then we need to make sure that our cow can't escape. Okay? And if I take a cow and put him in here on top of the jar, and then we break this cobblestone, the cow will now be in a jar. So we now have a cow in a jar. And this thing will slowly produce milk. So let me make a couple more of these, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and I've got 4 cows in a jar. So now I need to see just how much milk these things produce. So let's make a couple of these. And let's make a demonically gargantuan drum, which is obviously one of the largest drums in the game. It produces tons of stuff. And let's just try, if I grab some fluid let's grab the ender fluid conduits, since they are the highest level. Ooh, that doesn't connect. Does it connect on top? Oh, how do we get the milk out of here? Because it looks like they produce milk. If you hover over and you look at Wayla, it looks like they produce milk relatively quickly. Not super quickly. Not quickly enough, honestly. That's not going to be nearly fast enough. We're talking 1 bucket every, I don't know, minute? 5 minutes? I don't know. Either way, that's not going to work for us. Okay, so let's look at other options. We could take a cow, do like a mechanical user, have it milk the cow, put it in a bucket, and something along those lines. I wonder, is there any sort of like a milking machine? Milk jug, milk bucket, milk cell. Or a rancher? No, that was a very useful item from Mine Factory Reloaded back in the 1.7.10 days. Cow plushies. None of those are gonna work. Let me look for a few options here, and then I'll be back. Actually, I have an idea. I don't know if this is gonna work, but the cows in the jar are not that hard to make. So maybe, just out of curiosity, could we go pull? No, doesn't work. I was really hoping we could use the cows in a jar, but I guess that's not going to work. It looks like you can't just connect something to them, that's too bad. I was hoping. Okay, well, let me look back at some more options. All right, guys, I am back, and I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to try it out and see. So, let's see. Here we've got a couple of things we could do. One, I'm just trying to look at this. Maybe we don't end up using this house. I would like to find a spot, or I suppose we could do it as part of the abandoned laboratory as well. I basically want to mechanically mine, basically use a bucket on cows. I think I'm going to need a couple more cows. Actually, you know what? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's grab 1 cow, 2 cow, 3 cow, and then I need 1 more cow, and it looks like there's a couple out here. Okay, so I now have 4 cows. Let's set this up as part of the abandoned laboratory. We'll maybe find a room, dedicate it to this, and it should all be good. Let's see. So let's go down to this floor, because I know we have a couple of available rooms here. We've got like one right here, and then one over here. No, that one's being used for our XP. How much XP? Oh, 363 levels. Okay, that thing's doing well. But we could potentially use this room for this little project. And maybe what we'll do is take this and bring it out this way. I just need to mark out, let's see, we'd have a cow here, a cow here, a cow here, and then we need to go 2 more, because our last cow, I want to have 4 cows, basically. So this will work, I believe. Let's grab an inverted light and just put that here. Yeah, so this should work, I think. Let me get this room all... Ooh, silverfish. That's right. I forgot we're in an extreme hills biome. Anyway, let me get some work done on this, guys, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got the whole thing set up. We've got room here for all the cows. Everything should be good. So we've got mechanical users here, and we've got 4 of them. And what I ultimately want to do is send these. This is essentially going to be like a milking room. Although I'm looking at this and I'm kind of thinking I want these pushed back 1 more. So let me do a little bit more work here, actually. I'll be right back with you. Okay, there we go. That's much better. So now the next step is we need to essentially automate these things. And we're just going to do 1 of them to start with, and then we'll worry about the others. So what I want to do is make some ender tanks, okay? And what do I need that I don't have? Cauldrons. Okay, so let's make 5 of these guys. Throw those in here, and then we'll go... maybe red wool, honestly. Actually, yeah, because I've got a ton of red wool. So that'll work out really well. Ender tank, and instead we'll go here. And we need 5. There we go. So what this is, essentially, it's just like an ender chest. Not the vanilla one, but like the one that our ender pouch is tied to. It's just like that, except it works for fluids instead. So all of these, since they all have the red wool here, these are all on essentially the red channel. Think of it that way, okay? And what we can do is if we grab mechanical users, I am actually going to need 4 more of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. If we grab 4 more of these guys like so, what should happen is ultimately this one will milk the cow. The milk bucket will get transferred to this, which will put the milk in this ender tank. Okay? That's the plan. We'll see if it actually works that way, but that's the plan. Let's give ourselves a little bit of space down here. That should be all 4, right? Yep, good. And pull all of that out, and then let's go item conduits. And I've got filters already, so let's just start with this one over on this side, okay? And we're going to do item conduits like this. We're going to say in, out. We will insert buckets onto this thing on the green channel and extract buckets from this on the red channel. Okay? And what we need is a regular bucket and then a milk bucket, just like so. So going in to this guy, into the one that's actually going to do the thing, we want it to only take regular buckets. And then we want it to extract milk buckets. Okay? Then it's going to go over to here, where it is going to basically do the opposite. So it's going to extract regular buckets to send them back over here, and it will insert... It's going... Is that right? No. Extract on green, insert on red. Right? Hold on. This one we're taking buckets out on green, which means here, insert green, and then we are extracting milk, which means... I had this backwards. There we go. I believe that's correct. Yeah. Okay. So that should now work. Let's give this a try. I'm gonna grab some of this stone-framed glass. We'll put you right here. And then I'm gonna put one of those cows back here. And what should happen, once we figure this whole thing out as far as the mechanical user goes, right, we should have a bucket here. We need this to be right-click, upper left slot only, and activate block with item, use item, entity. There we go. Okay, so now you should be extract always. There. So what should be happening now, once we get this, upper left slot only. There we go. There we go. It's working. So activate block with item in this. Entity here. So what's happening is that bucket is getting shuffled back and forth and filling up the ender tank. So that actually works exactly how I was hoping it would. That's fantastic. Okay, let me get the other one set up the same way. Alright guys, I am back. So we've got that all done. These should all be good. Now what we need is a way for us to essentially do something with all of this stuff, because this milk, it'll just be full. Like, And that is why we made the 5th ender tank, because we need to take this milk from these and output it to something else, such as this demonically gargantuan drum. That is our plan. So what we're going to do, I think, is back here, we'll just set up a little thing. Let's go storage, this guy right here. We need an external storage thing from Refined Storage. That way it gets added, the milk gets added to our Refined Storage system. There we go. We'll grab one of those, and we can put this drum, we can put this drum right here and say connect you. Okay. This is going to be fluids, and for milk, and we'll say priority 10. Okay. So that's telling that this thing is for milk, right? Now, what we can do is take our ender tank here, and then if we grab some fluid conduits, these ender fluid conduits, we can hook those up like so. We can change this to extract always. Extract always. And you can see it's now draining this relatively quickly, right? One of them may actually be able to handle it by itself. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, looks like one of them can handle it. And this, you can see, is going up pretty quickly. So we're getting tons and tons of milk, which is great, because now we can use it in recipes and stuff like that. So if we look at our fluid grid over here, you can see we're getting tons of milk now. So that is awesome. And this holds up to 65,500 buckets of milk, which is, you know, plenty. That'll last us a while. So I think we're in good shape there. Maybe I'll move this. In fact, I am going to move that. Let's just put it right here instead. And we'll say extract always. Now, is this still draining faster than it fills? Yes, good. Okay, so there we go. We now have the production of milk completely automated, which wasn't super hard to do, but this looks pretty cool. It's a little loud, but still, that's pretty cool, you gotta admit. And it's not loud enough that you'll hear it throughout the entire base. I can always put a whatchamacallit, a muffler there if I need to. But for now, I'll leave it. It should be fine. And then I need a pressure plate. 2 of these guys. There we go. So we'll say door, plate, plate. And there we go. Actually, you know what? That is getting annoyingly loud. Let's get a sound muffler from extra utilities. There we go. And we'll just put that right here. There we go. Much better. Everything is much quieter. So that'll work out really nicely. Okay. I think, and actually, maybe instead, maybe we put that back here. It would be awesome if it didn't block the door noise, but I think it's everything within like a 16 block radius or something like that. I don't remember. I also just realized that I don't have a laboratory door on this guy, which is something I should also fix right away. Also, while I am here, a couple episodes ago, we tried to automate the production of these solderers, or solderers, depending on where in the world you live. Americans pronounce it solder. Europeans solder or something like that. In America, we pronounce it solder, even though the L is there. The L is silent because American English. I don't know. Either way, a lot of you told me that the reason I was having problems is because these output only from the bottom and they input from the sides. So I moved this setup around, and now we can auto-craft all the different stuff from refined storage, or at least all of the different processors and things along those lines. So thank you for that tip. I really do appreciate it. One other thing, there was a question last episode. Somebody asked, what is the difference between refined storage and Yaba barrels? Yaba barrels, of course, being what we used for our soybean farm that we automated last episode. This guy right here, this greenhouse. Down here we have well, we don't anymore. I swapped it out for a small basic drawer because it only holds 512 soybeans, and I didn't feel like waiting for the Yaba barrel to fill out at... Yeah, here we go. So basically there are a couple different mods in this pack that add storage drawer or barrel-like functions, okay? So if we grab a basic drawer and a item barrel and look at them side by side, I want to kind of let you guys know what the differences are here. Lag spike, please. So both of these hold quite a few items. This thing by default will hold 64 stacks. This thing by default will hold 32 stacks of items. They can both be upgraded in different ways, so no real difference there, but the real difference comes in. If you look at Yaba, there are upgrades in this that are not exactly, the upgrades are a bit different. The item barrel can be upgraded to have infinite capacity, which is pretty amazing because these guys cannot. The drawers from storage drawers can be upgraded to hold a whole lot of items, like everything over here in our warehouse. These all hold about 106,000 items, but it's not infinite. I could upgrade that to hold even more, but then I would have to get rid of the void upgrade, which means that eventually these would overflow and I would run out of space. Whereas the Yaba barrels do have an infinite upgrade capability, which is pretty sweet. That's awesome. That means I would never have to void any items. However, excuse me. However, with that said, storage drawers, in my opinion, have one huge advantage over the Yaba barrels, and that is the specialty drawers from storage drawers, specifically the compacting drawer, and more importantly, the drawer controller. The drawer controller allows me to basically treat all of the drawers on this wall as one inventory. So rather than having to hook up refined storage, external storage cables, item conduits, any of that kind of stuff to each of these drawers individually, I can just hook it up to the drawer controller and call it a day. And that is a huge, huge benefit. Compacting drawers as well, they'll give me the nuggets, the blocks, and the ingots all in one for my system. So huge benefit there. However, one benefit that Yaba has over the storage drawers is, let me just show you, right? So if I put 2 stacks of this in here and I break this, all the items in it are going to go flying everywhere, right? When I break the thing, I lose the stuff that's inside of it. With a Yaba barrel, on the other hand, if I break this, if it breaks, sometimes it's a little... There we go. Sometimes it's a little weird. It keeps all the items in it. Personally, I don't think that's as big of a benefit as storage drawers. There's also the ability to just hold shift and lock and unlock without needing any other item like a key or anything. But I think overall between the two, the storage drawers are a lot more powerful simply because of the existence of the drawer controller. That's really what it comes down to. Both great mods, both serve a very similar function, and they are similar in a lot of ways, but a couple minor differences. So in answer to your question, person who asked what the difference was, there you go. That is the difference. But guys, I think that is pretty much it for this episode. I am out of time for this one. We did some automated cow stuff today, which is always fun. I'm sure wifey would be proud. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.